Yeah. Tune in, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I said the end, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I don't fully straight apply. Or when I'm stand up for the stone, I live my life. Been east to rich with east and they stick when I make it fast. But the schoolies never bet for me, my dough is still for thighs. I'm the horn, niggas know they cute too, I keep out the bone. But let's get it, you know my me, you miss be up the shown. And when I see a nigga smile, you will stay up front. And if they got me, know then I, you know I did the con. You up the icon, I see the fat. This scene I'm easy, but I hate I wake, so what I pack. I keep a searing in the rain, then I smoke as crash. And if I get, I'll keep a foreign, no some planet, yeah. Taking trash to the sky from my reason to living. All the flu on the blend, that resenting me ribbon. Dax kicking out of love, I might never be willing. Bitch, you'll never know what you, I can never forget. Tune in, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I 7 in, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, you know by now it's on the line of people, but you never know this name, it's Kanana sequel. Stick it fresh, taken down, so decide the needle. Put down, stay the time to line like you want a needles. And if you hate when I like the brown, it's like your cam in the brown till they coming out. But like I'm so fresh up and through the moose confused. And now I know what's up and noon and that was all for you. Say you never lose, stakes is native Parikana. I was go do, he's not a Hakabe, go drink your face. But I was thinking to his soul when y'all was by the Keva. And now I rain, man, I name like the May whatever. I say complain, flame mind, you gave me no restriction. This nap so hard, go within and never missing. Convinced that you me love me now, but store and never tripping. It's the enemies of all, boy, yo, come and get tripping. Tune in, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I say the in, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream.
Living your dreams, that's what I'm all about. Right here on GPTV1. I want to thank you for joining me on this Monday edition. I'm always excited to perform for the audience. And you know I got a hot one I'm going to unpack in this live stream. You step in the building, please click the like button. It helps the channel get around. It helps this live stream get around. Listening to the replay, I certainly appreciate you checking out this live stream. Share it with your network, on your social media pages, and all of the above. Click that subscribe button if it's your first time stepping in the building, and click that notification bell. That way you get notified whenever I go live. But like I said, I got a lot of stuff I'm going to unpack in this live stream. And when I be looking around for good stories to cover and things to give my commentary on, if there's a certain story that keep coming across my notification, I may get all into it. And this story right here just kept coming up and coming up. This guy, Lawrence Dority, an ex-NBA player. Now, this guy was found guilty of second-degree unalive last Wednesday. But I started looking at the case and I started looking at some of the testimony and all of that. I said, I got to speak on this little story right here. And some stories may fly under the radar, whereas channels like Court TV, they cover stories like this. So I did check out the stuff. And when I saw that guy get on the stand and start giving his testimony, I knew he was cooked as soon as he opened his mouth up. Like, dude, you are cooked, buddy. So we're going to cover that today, this evening. But before we get to all that, I'm trying to check out this public announcement. Round one. Welcome to the GP Inner Circle. What up, though, GP fam? I'm excited to announce that the GP membership is now officially active. This is your chance to step up and show your support in a way that truly matters. By joining the Inner Circle, you will unlock exclusive perks tailored just for the most dedicated supporters, because you deserve nothing less. But that's not all. The Super Chat feature is now live, giving you an even greater opportunity to engage with me and the community in real time. Your support fuels my passion and creativity, inspiring me to deliver the kind of fire content that only the GP fam deserves. So why wait? Join the GP membership today and be a part of something special. Let's elevate this community together, because when you thrive, we all thrive. Welcome to the Inner Circle. Your journey starts now. Much love. Yeah, it's all love over here at GPTV1, so check out the membership. I got plenty of ways how you can support this channel. You're feeling a little generous, you can hit me on the Super Chat. You can send a little something to my Cash App, or you can go to the GPTV1 store and check out some of the designs over there. A lot of people be going over to the store. I appreciate it, but like I said, there's many ways how you can support this channel. And I like to take a moment to say rest in peace to my goddaughter. It's not a great time emotionally. She lost her life, unfortunately, a couple of days ago. I'm incredibly torn up about that. That was my baby. She is a part of me. So I got to say rest in peace to my goddaughter. I've been around this little girl, this young lady, since she was a baby, and we was just locked in. We were so locked in that her mom, who I looked at as a little sister, named me the Godfather. And I cherish that. And I think it's a blessing to receive that honor. And I always honor her. I always said great things about her. So rest in peace to my God baby. But let's get to this case right here. This guy right here, Lawrence Dority. And he got found guilty of unaliving ex-NBA player. Let me make sure I got his name right here. Adrean Payne. I want to make sure I got these names correct. But he got found guilty of second degree for killing this guy, Adrean Payne. It's unclear what they was actually arguing about. And we can see all the mental stuff that goes into stuff like this. The shit. We all see this stuff every day in the hood. We cover these crime stories, so we see it all the time. And we may know the mental behind it, but it's unclear what the argument was about. And this ex-NBA player had just got back into the country because he had been playing ball across seas. So he had business across seas, and he had just made it back to the States and ended up getting killed at this guy's father's house. What got him over there to this guy's father's house, that's unclear too. I'm gonna check out this guy's testimony, and I'm gonna listen to some what the victim's girlfriend, she got on the stand, because she was there when all this stuff happened. And I'm gonna listen to the closing argument. That's what's gonna be popping on this live stream. And of course, I'm gonna give my commentary. I'm gonna give my reaction to this. Like I said, when this guy hit the stand, I knew he was done. He cooked. He was even coming with crocodile tears. He tried to cry on the stand, but lawyers always tell they be against their clients getting on the stand. But when you got so much stacked up against you, what else can you do? You might as well try it. And sometimes it may work. But they think they're so charismatic and try to come off sympathetic. And those people are taught in there, and it's part of the rules. You can't be sympathetic to the defendant. That's just what they thought. But I'm gonna go to some of this, and I'm gonna start off by playing uh, the girlfriend's testimony. Let me refresh my screen here on this channel. So let me go to the girlfriend. I want to share my screen. This is the girlfriend of Adrean Payne. Let me share this screen right here. Let me get some sound going on here.
I just need you to speak up a little bit.
Okay.
If you could just introduce yourself to the jury.
I am Tara Walker. I'm Adrian's girlfriend.
And what city do you currently live?
Orlando.
This happened in
Are you currently
Orlando.
employed?
Yes. I work at Baptiste.
Well, we have a lot of cases coming out of Florida, but I don't know about a lot of Orlando cases, but it'd be plenty of cases coming out of that state.
He's dentistry.
Now, I want to take you back. Do you know a person named Lawrence Dority?
Yes.
How do you know that person?
He was my best friend's boyfriend.
And who is your best friend, or who was your best friend that you're referring to?
Tatiana Mesa.
Now, over the years, first of all, how long have you known Lawrence Dority?
At that time, 15 years. About.
At that time, I assume.
So this woman personally knows this guy, and she's been knowing him for a long time.
Are you talking about the time of the incident back in?
A lot of times you get into these beefs and all that type of stuff, and people be killing other people. They be knowing each other.
Yes.
2022.
Yeah, because now it would probably be around like 18 years.
So, going back to 2022, how long had you known Lawrence Dority?
15 years.
And over the years, would you say that you maybe encountered Mr. Dority 100 times more?
Yes, more.
Would you recognize him if you were to see him today?
Yes.
Is he in the courtroom?
Yes.
Can you point him out and describe something he's wearing for the record?
He's right there and he's wearing gray.
Does the record reflect the witnesses identified the defendant?
So no.
That's her boyfriend.
Now, going back to May of 2022, did you know a person named Adrean Payne?
Yes.
How did you know Mr. Payne?
I was in a relationship with him.
How long had you been in a relationship with him?
5 years.
And did you have any children in common?
Yes.
How many?
1.
She has a child with this guy.
So I want to.
Unfortunately, because of this idiot right here, this child got to grow up without this father. And then on top of that, he got taken away from his own child.
Take you back to the early morning hours, sort of after midnight, May 9th of 2022. Did you ever go to the defendant's neighborhood in the early morning hours of May 9th, 2022? Yes. When you arrived in that area, where did you go specifically?
In the middle of the street.
What vehicle were you in?
My car. I was in an Audi Q5.
And was the area you went to, was that Egret Shores Drive area?
Yes.
And is that in Orange County?
Yes.
Now, why is it that you decided to go to that area?
Tatiana had texted me and asked me to meet her at her house in 15 minutes.
Okay. And so did you agree to do that?
Yes.
And was your understanding that she had been in an argument?
Objection as to leading.
Your Honor, can we approach?
They're having a sidebar right now. So hold on, folks. Y'all know how this court stuff go. Grab me something cold to drink right quick.
Imagine bringing your side project to life just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
So you said you had received a call from your friend Tatiana Mesa,
A text message, yes.
and your understanding was that she had had some sort of argument with the defendant?
Correct.
And so you agreed to meet her at the residence?
Correct.
So at some point after speaking with Tatiana, did you have any kind of contact with Adrean Payne?
I did, yes.
Can you describe that contact?
He was on his way back to my house. It's Mother's Day night. He had left and he was coming back. And I told him that I was going to go to Tatiana's house to see what was going on, that she had asked me to come to her house and that she had called the police.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay, your approach.
So they're having another sidebar right here, and that's the strange thing about this case, because, like I said, this girl Tatiana called you over what's supposed to be to her house. How did y'all end up at this guy's dad's house where this incident happened at? How did y'all all end up over there when the girl text you or whatever to come over to her house? And then what was she at when all this stuff was going on? She claimed she was calling the police. Whatever happened to the police you supposedly called? I said they're having a sidebar. They'll be right back with you. And again, this testimony in this case was a few days ago. It's actually done with. He got found guilty of second-degree murder. But once I go back and listen to these cases, and I look at the background of it. If I find it to be interesting, I'd be wanting to talk about it. I definitely be wanting to do that. And this is one of those cases. And it took me to just see this guy get on the stand. I'm gonna get back to that. And I'm gonna get to it in a few moments. I want to check out some of her testimony that I'm gonna get with this guy on the stand. Then we're gonna head to closing arguments, and I'm gonna get my commentary as we go along. step in.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there has been an objection to the last comment that was made by the witness as it relates to the being called. I have sustained.
Live on Twitch right now. You can also follow me on social media. I post a lot of stuff over there.
Objection not relevant to these proceedings, and you are to disregard any reference to that comment, and you are not to consider it in any way, shape, or form in reaching a verdict in this case. Understood?
You can create your
So when
own
it comes
website.
to testimony, all this stuff got to be relevant to the case. Let's go.
All right, everybody has. You may resume.
Thank you, Your Honor. So after receiving the text from Tatiana Mesa, you had communication with Adrean Payne, is that right?
Correct, yes.
And did you inform him of what you were doing?
Yes.
I guess, did he decide to come to that area as well?
Correct. He said he was coming off the highway and that he would meet me there.
So what happens when you first arrive at the area of the defendant's residence?
Larry, his father, is parked in the middle of the street near the stop sign, and Adrian's car is about 7 houses down, and Lawrence and him are outside of the car having a conversation.
And what were they arguing about? And then I gotta say to the victim, my condolences to the family and all of that. And sometimes you shouldn't just be places, like literally. So you are over at these folks' house or whatever, and then when you go to somebody's house, they feel like that's their castle. And I know by law you can't tell people to move away from in front of your house if they're in the streets. By law, you can't tell them that because they technically is not on your property. But when you're a man or something, you feel like, oh, that's your kingdom. So this guy was just definitely in the wrong place somewhere, getting his argument going on.
You missed them having a conversation. What did you do from there?
I stopped in the middle of the street. Larry was standing outside of his vehicle. I rolled down my window. I lowered.
And again, Tatiana told you to come to her house. How did y'all end up over there? Maybe because you talked to Adrian and that draws you over to where they was at. Maybe that's the case.
I lowered my phone down because I was on the phone with Adrian. And he told me to get back, that he was going to get his gun. And I was like, you know, what?
So let me stop you. Who told you to get back he was going to get his gun?
Larry.
Larry said he was going to get
Larry did, yes, correct.
Okay. Daddy.
And I was like, what are you talking about, Larry? That's Adrian, that's Armani's dad, that's my boyfriend.
At that point, you should be calling 911.
And he said, that's a big fella. I'd never seen him before. And I was like, yeah.
And he can be an opposing figure, you know. In these type of situations, you know, we start thinking irrational. And that would have been a good time to call the police, in my opinion.
And this is Larry, again, this is your understanding of Lawrence, the defendant's dad?
Correct.
So then what happened from there?
So I put the phone back to my ear. I was looking straight. I see that Adrian has his arm on top of the car. And he has one arm over the door. He's in between the crease of the door. Lawrence is standing on the side of here, the side of him. And I heard him say something like, get on, Lawrence, I'm not worried about you. Lawrence.
Oh, man, why did you do that? And they said Lawrence had been drinking, so, you know, I don't know how you think you're going to diffuse that.
Backed up. Adrian closed the door. Lawrence walked to the house, and Adrian walked over to me.
Okay.
That's when he went and got that gun.
The defendant has gone back inside the house?
Yeah, so we were about 7 houses down from his house, so he walked to the back, like on the grass, maybe around his backyard.
Okay. And then you have a conversation.
And at that point, he felt like, this dude punking me out. I'm a little punk to him. The NBA player or the basketball player, he's 6'8". So I'm pretty sure he was an imposing figure over this guy. And you over at his place. So, yeah, he felt like you punking him out.
With Adrian?
Correct. He walks over to me.
Especially when he said, I'm not worried about you.
He walks in the middle. Larry is still there. He's getting to his car. They kind of just like nod heads. He gets in his car. He reverses and he pulls to the front of the driveway. Adrian's talking to me. I asked him, "Are you okay, babe?" He said, "Yeah." "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah." "Go back to your
And why isn't the daddy diffusing this stuff?
car and just pull up. I'm going to park right here," which was like guest parking on this side of the house.
And did he go back to his car?
He did, yes.
Now, in that interaction that you had with him, did you observe him to be armed with any firearm?
No.
Did you observe him to be armed with any other weapons, like a knife or anything like
No.
Uh-oh, they got to get paid.
half of your day, and
I do
sure,
too.
you were productive.
We'll skip over that. Let's go.
that? And so, does Adrian actually go back to his vehicle?
Correct. He walks back to his car. I park my car where I say I'm going to park it. He pulls up to the spot where we were originally at, where Larry and myself was located.
So he pulled the car up to that spot.
Correct.
Now, that spot, where was that in location to the defendant's residence?
So we were in front of someone's house and across the street, and then the street, and then it's the townhome. So there's one house and then their house.
Okay.
So stop sign, their house, and then his house.
Then who house?
And so, at some point, did the defendant come back outside of his residence?
Correct.
Are you able to estimate about how long that was? Obviously, I know you didn't have a stopwatch on you.
Couple minutes?
I know it wasn't less than 30 seconds. I mean, it had to be like maybe and a half. Maybe it was somewhere.
At
I
some
feel like I'm
point,
being
did the
pumped
defendant
out.
come back outside of his house?
He did.
That would have been a good time to call the police. All parties. All parties. If you see this guy is acting hostile, whenever somebody leaves the scene really, really quick, you got to know something about to happen. You got to know this.
When did you first notice that he?
I don't trust people like that. When they run away or walk away from a scene really quickly, and they hostile and all that type stuff, I don't trust people like that. I'm automatically trying to get out of Dodge or something. This guy about to go get something. You know. Let's go.
Come back outside of his house.
So I parked my car. I walked over to Adrian. He opened his car door. He stuck his left leg out. I thought he was getting out the car. He had his hand on the steering wheel, and I said, "Babe, don't get out the car. I'm going to go see what's going on with Tatiana." And I turned around.
And that's what I'm saying. Where's this girl Tatiana at? Again, that would have been a good time to call the police.
5 steps, and then I seen Lawrence coming from in between the cars. Like there was another car and then a Mercedes, which is his car, and he had his arm under his shirt, and he came to the edge of it. I stopped. I asked him not to draw his weapon. What was he doing? His dad was asking, what was he doing, son?
Hearsay.
Sustained.
Not getting into what anybody else was saying, what did you observe?
He came down to the end with a gun under his shirt. He took the gun out of his shirt. I asked him not to raise his weapon. I started to yell his name, Lawrence. And then from there, he asked us he asked, "Why are you here?" He asked a couple of times, maybe like 2 to 3 times. And I tried to explain to him, Tatiana asked me to be here.
Okay. And so at some point after he walked out,
What happened to Tatiana calling the police? She initially called you and said, "Hey, I'm about to call the police." Where's the police at?
now firearm out.
Yeah.
And where was he when he had the firearm out? How far was he from Adrian's vehicle?
Not far. He was at the end of their street. I mean, at the end of the grass of the neighbors. So I don't know how to explain it unless I show you.
Walked down. Let me have a photo here.
This guy felt like he was getting pumped out. Y'all over at his place. What was the argument about? Check out the GPTVONE store. You can scan that QR code.
Are you able to see my laser pointer on the screen? So I'm going to have.
We'll listen to her for a few more minutes because I want to get to him on the stand.
Okay. right here.
Okay. Now, with the laser pointer, if you could just sort of circle an area where the defendant was when he fired the shot. So he had walked a few places down from his residence. Is that fair to say?
Objection as to leading, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Move to strike.
Well, no answer has been given.
This was like daylight. I thought this incident happened at night.
So if you could just, with that laser pointer, can you circle where the defendant's residence was? And then if you could just sort of walk down with a laser pointer showing the jury where the defendant walked to at the time he fired the shot.
Do me a solid. If you're stepping in, checking out this live stream, do me a solid and click that like button. Appreciate it. Even if you're just stepping in for a moment.
On the grass area?
Correct. Yes.
Covering this case about this ex-NBA player, Adrean Payne. My reaction.
Okay. Now, you had some interaction, you said, with the defendant as he came back out?
Correct.
Were you able to observe his demeanor?
Yes.
What was his demeanor like? Was he even-keeled? Was he upset?
It seemed like he was intoxicated.
Hostile.
Overruled.
He appeared to be intoxicated to you?
Correct. Yes.
Hold on, before you pay for yet another app to manage your team, let me introduce you to Connect Team, a platform that replaces all of these.
Now, after the defendant shot Mr. Payne, what happened from there?
I turned around to run towards Adrian, or get to him. His dad grabbed me and spun me around and told me that I needed to run.
It's not a matter.
Mind y'all, they got footage of this stuff happening, and it was not rapid gunfire. This guy shoot, then he'd shoot again. It was some time between the shots.
Asserted directly.
Which is strange.
In front of the jury either, so let's come on up.
It's really strange. It was like I said, it was some timing between these shots. And this guy was just intoxicated, felt like he's being punked out in front of his own house. And dude just shouldn't have went over there, man. So sometimes the other person got to win the argument. You can't win every argument. And it's still unclear of what the argument was about.
Okay, so after the shooting, you were saying what happened next. You can continue.
I spun around, or turned around to get to Adrian. Lawrence's father grabbed me, spun me around, and told me I needed to run, to grab Havian and run.
Did you do that?
I did. I walked over. I tried to run. My legs felt like bricks. I went to him. I opened the car door. He jumped into my arms. He was already crying. I put him down because I couldn't carry him, and I told him to run. So we started to run. Larry ran over to Adrian.
Okay. Now let me stop you there.
You stop your son?
You run after this, and you run a few houses down. Is that fair?
Yes.
Have you had an opportunity to see some surveillance footage that shows you after sort of running down, also that captures the audio
Yeah,
of
she was
the
pretty
shooting?
hysterical through all of that. But I'm going to switch up on this one. Stop sharing that. So that's some of the testimony from Adrian's girlfriend. This guy right here. And I'm gonna check out some of his background before we get to this guy with him getting on the stand. And he played for a few teams, played some international ball and all of that. I'm gonna check out some of his background. And he played for State. Shouts out to him. Played for Michigan State. That's one of my squads right there. Tom Izzo and them all up there. I'm a big Michigan State fan and Michigan Wolverine. Sorry about that. Anyway, he played for Michigan State, so shouts out to him. Played for the Atlanta Hawks, one season over there. Played for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He played 2 seasons over there. He played 1 season for the Orlando Magic, which is why the story got big news down there, because he played for the team that was there. He played for some international teams. I'm not going to slaughter names of these teams, but it appears that his last team was over there in Ukraina, the Lithuanian Basketball League. That was in 2022. And according to his girlfriend, he had just made it back to the States from being over there. So he had a nice little run with basketball. Looked like 9 or 10 years. So that's his career. Tall guy, 6'8". That's some of his background. I want to go to this guy's testimony. This guy looked like a complete idiot. I mean, his opening line, I'm like, dude, you are hooked. Hooked, buddy. There's no way. But I understand again. I understand. You got a lot of stuff stacked up against you, a lot of evidence. But why not take your shot by getting on the stand? Your lawyer will talk against that, but it's still up to you, though. You got right. You can hit the stand. And they try to come off sympathetic, charismatic, and honest. And this guy even tried to start flying. Let's get to it. Let me share my screen. Like I say, he already been found guilty. I'm just giving my commentary. Let's get some sound going on here. Let's check out this defendant. And I'm sure his lawyer really tried.
Just have and state your full name and spell your first and your last name for the court reporter.
My name is Dority.
I'm gonna play
The first name and the last name.
Lawrence, last name Dority, Dority.
Mr. Thompson,
Let's
you
see
may
if I can find that.
Dority, how old are you?
I am 32.
I want to find the
Children?
prosecution.
Yes, I have 3.
What are their ages?
13, 8, and 2.
What do you call them?
I'm
All your life?
yes, sir.
Are you married?
I'm engaged.
I'm sorry.
Engaged.
Let's get right into it. Switch gears a little bit. You obviously been set through this trial so far. You heard a lot of things. And you actually live in the situation. You recall what happened on May 22?
Yes, I do.
Did you explain to the court and the jury what happened?
Well, around 1:30 in the morning, me, my son, and my dad, my father, would take him home. As we arrived, the car parked in the corner of my home, and automatically it was Tara.
So this did happen in the nighttime.
I thought it was weird that she was parked there because
Goofball.
she would typically park in the driveway or in front of the house. And so I walk over there, greet her to say, hey, you know, why are you parked here? And Mr. Payne gets out of the car. And when he gets out of the car, he's looking down at me. He has his hand in his waistband. And I can see like something silver sticking out on the side of his hip with his hand on it. And I asked him, what are you doing here? And he said, I'm not playing with you, I'll smoke you. I said, what? I threw my hands in the air and I started freaking out. My dad rolls down the window and asked me, is everything okay? And I told him, I don't know. So.
You didn't tell him you were just being threatened? The man, according to you, you said the man said he's about to smoke you. You didn't tell your dad that? What do you mean you don't know? You sound like a complete idiot.
At my home, I retrieved my firearm so I could safely.
Hold on. You go inside the house after he threatened
get my son in the house.
So you left your son out there around this threat, and you left your dad out there with this guy who's supposed to be threatening. That don't make a shred of sense. That just does not make sense at all.
And so as I return back outside, I see Mr. Payne has moved his car up even more. He's gotten out of his car again. And so I'm standing in my driveway and I'm asking him, why are you here? What are you doing here? Why are you here? Can you please leave?
Crocodile tears.
Can you please leave?
Crocodile tears. You're only crying for yourself.
He just stared at me.
You crying because you caught up in this mess.
Okay.
Crocodile tears. What are
How
tears
tall
at?
are you, Mr. Dority?
5'8",
How much do you weigh?
145 pounds.
Did you have a relationship with Mr. Payne? Had he ever been to your home before? Did you invite him? I need you to make an audible.
No, sir.
Do you have a relationship with him at all?
No, sir.
Did you invite him to your home? I'm sorry?
No, sir.
Out of all the years that you knew Miss Tara Walker, had you ever actually met Mr. Payne?
Like twice.
Was there any?
So what's going on? Was he messing with your girl, or what's going on? I thought the girl and his girlfriend was best buddies. Now, what car did he get out of? You say you went over there to greet the girl, but he got out of the car. That don't make no sense.
Situation where you guys had a issue?
No. I was just seeing.
I thought you were just crying. Look at this dude. He wiping some fake tears. Look at him. Look at him. Crocodile tears. Crocodile
One time,
tears.
he showed up to.
You ain't got no tears.
My girlfriend's mother's Thanksgiving or something like that. He showed up unannounced, and I don't even recall the other time.
So now getting back to May 9,
I got to announce it to you. Oh, this dude, look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. This is so phony. If I ain't never seen baloney, but hold on. Let me change that. I've seen this in other cases. I've seen this in other cases where if you have these crocodile tears when there's no tears.
When you came, why did you go back in the house? Why did you go in the house?
Because I thought.
What? You left your son out there? You ain't gonna call the police? You had this big imposing figure? You thought you was gonna die? What about your son? What about your son? You didn't think your son was gonna die? You didn't think your dad was gonna die?
He's outside my house. He's telling me he's gonna smoke me. I have my son outside. I have my father outside. He's there by himself. No, I didn't.
Where the tears at? Where are the tears, buddy?
How many
Crocodile
shots did you fire?
tears. Looking for sympathy. This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I covered this story tonight. He been found guilty already, but when I saying all of this, I said, "Man, I got to speak on this. This is what phony look like. This is what phony look like. It's almost comical. This is comedy at its fullest.
Dority.
You felt like you were going to get smoked, not your son.
Just slow down a little bit.
I'm gonna leave my son out there with a dangerous guy. If anything, I'm here to protect my son.
Take your time and make sure you speak into the microphone, okay?
Where? No, you crying for yourself, buddy. There's no tears. We don't see no tears, man.
At some point, you felt...
You literally think the jury don't see that?
You went in the home and obtained your firearm.
You literally think the jury don't see that?
What were you thinking at that time?
You were being punked out. You felt like you were being punked out.
I didn't know. I just thought he was gonna kill me and my son and my father, and I didn't know.
What?
I didn't.
You went in the house and left your son outside. You wasn't thinking
What's
about
gonna
your son.
happen?
And guess what? You just got taken away from your son. You didn't care about your son. You wasn't thinking about your son. Let's keep it 1,000. You was not thinking about your son.
You had this firearm. First of all, did you have a concealed weapon permit?
Yes, sir.
So had you taken self-defense classes before?
Yes, sir.
When you came out, did you have any additional words or anything was said by you at that time?
You got 5-1 on this.
What was that, if anything?
I said, "Can you please leave? Why are you here? Can you please leave?
Leave.
What are you here for?"
You just asked her, uh-oh. There you go. I froze it right there. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, there's no tears, but he's reaching for tissue. And he supposedly went outside and pleasantly asked them to leave. Let's go. A little bit more of this guy. Then I'm going to get to the prosecution. There you go.
What was the response that you got?
He didn't say anything. He was just staring at me.
They never pulled that weapon out.
Felt the need to discharge.
So what this guy is saying that this guy had a weapon, but the police never found no weapon. And his theory is that the girlfriend went and hid the weapon. That's his theory. That's his story. Let's listen to a little bit more.
How many shots did you take?
One. I saw him.
Yeah, because it was.
I was saying, "Why are you here? You need to leave. You need to leave. You need to leave. Why are you here?"
How were you saying it? You saying so? What did you say it?
Like, why are you here? What are you here for?
Were you talking to him?
I don't know.
Could he hear you?
Yes.
I don't know.
How do you know he could hear you?
Because he was staring at me. It wasn't far. It's like from here to the end of the courtroom. Like, it wasn't far.
When you came out the house, time when you took a shot.
I mean, I was in my driveway the whole time.
Let's get on to the prosecution. You full of shit. You are full of shit. Let's get over to the prosecution. I want to hear this cross-examination from this guy. And they say it was pretty heated. It was pretty heated. And rest in peace to you guys. Condolences to your family and all of that. And you had just had a daughter and you just made it back to the States. But let me get to the cross-examination on this idiot right here. I mean, he just felt like he was being punked out. He had his own house and all of that. So this is the cross-examination.
Good afternoon, Mr. Dority.
From the prosecution.
Mr. Smith.
So I want to go back to several things you said in your direct testimony, but first I want to start out with, you said in your direct examination testimony that you gave a statement to law enforcement after this, right? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you say in testimony to this jury,
Hey, the prosecution ain't finna go for all that nodding and sobbing and all that type stuff. You can forget about it. He gonna cut right
that you were
into
never
you.
read your Miranda rights. Is that right? That's what you just said to your attorney?
From what I can recall.
Well, you didn't say you didn't recall, right? What you said to your attorney was that you were never read your Miranda rights. Is that right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I'm going to direct you to page 12 of the transcript of your statement that you, with the detective in this case, beginning at line 5.
Really quick.
Whoa,
I'm
whoa. You don't control nothing in there. You do not control the courtroom. Whoa, that's a bad move right there.
I'm going to show you what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I've got to lay this for the record.
Okay.
I'm going to show your attorney.
See, the lawyer doing it all properly. So you trying to be disorderly in there. What did he do? Kept it back legal.
Permission to approach?
You may.
Yeah, doing everything by the book.
I'm going to let you read along. So this is where I'm reading from, but I'm going to read this.
This is the interview?
Yes, this is the interview.
Okay. I was in response. I was talking about when they initially arrived to my home.
Okay. But just
Not
to be
this.
clear, what this says is, okay, well, let me do this. I want to read your rights, okay? And you say, and the detective says, and then we can talk about that after, okay? And you say, okay, buddy. And then detective says, so you have the right to remain silent. You say, and then anything you say can be used against you as evidence. Yes, sir. You're entitled to talk to an attorney now and have him present.
Now you grabbing more tissue. No. It ain't for crying. You trying to straighten up now. You trying to listen in and see what this lawyer talking about. See? Yeah, so all this stuff can come back and be used.
Or anytime during question. Do you understand? Sure. If you cannot afford an attorney, you can be provided with one without cost. Do you understand your rights? And then you said, after being read that, in the transcript of your interview with the detective, yes, sir. So you were read your Miranda rights, correct?
Yes, I was not read them initially when I was placed in handcuffs, which I was referencing to.
Okay.
Not my interview.
What?
You're
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you get there and get ready to go through the interview, that's when they'll read your rights. When they initially arrest you and put the cuffs on you, the patrolmen, they may not read you those rights. But when they get you in that interrogation room, before they start asking those questions, you're supposed to get
testimony
those rights.
to this jury not 10 minutes ago was that you were never read your Miranda rights. Is that correct? Never. That's what you said.
Pointing on the word never.
That's not true, is it?
I was read my Miranda rights in the interview room.
Okay. Thank you. Now, another thing that you just said that I found to be interesting is you said...
That's why it's a bad idea to get on the stand, because the cross-examination, man, they're going to chew you up. They will chew you alive.
When you came back out of your house, after you'd gone in the house and armed yourself with a firearm, you said that you came back out and you said, can you please leave? And you were speaking sort of calmly to the jury in a sort of meek tone that you're speaking today. Can you please leave? And this is after you came back out, after you armed yourself with a firearm, you're asking him, can you please leave? Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, I want to direct you. I'll let you look at it. I'm going to read it again. I'm going to tell your attorney to, this is your interview with Detective Gilberti. This is on page 50, beginning at line 16.
They chew you alive, buddy. That crying stuff ain't gonna work on this lawyer. You can forget about it. Crocodile tears.
Line 16
we ain't seen a tear yet. Your nose ain't running either.
look at this and I'm going to read it out loud because this is the opposite of what you just said. Starting at line 16, I'll give you a moment to read through line 23.
Anything you say can be used against you.
So your testimony on direct examination was that you were just asking him to please leave when you came out with the firearm, right?
Correct.
Okay. But what you said to the detective in your interview was, and I'll begin on line 16, detective, like when you came back out with the gun and he was still in his car.
Best evidence, Your Honor.
Response?
I don't have a sidebar.
Like when you came back out with the gun and he was still in his car, did he say anything to you? No. Well, sorry, Mr. Dority, your response was no. The detective says, was there any communication? And Mr. Dority, your response was, I didn't communicate with him, I shot him. That's what you told law enforcement the day that this happened in your interview, right? You didn't say, could you please leave? You
Bombshell.
just shot him. Is that right?
That's what I had said in the interview.
Right. Okay.
Come on, all that sniffing, man, in the microphone.
So I want to go back a little bit. This afternoon, the afternoon going into the early morning that this shooting happened, you were at your father's house, right?
Correct.
Okay. And you had been drinking at your father's house?
Earlier that day.
That's what I'm saying. How did y'all all end up over at your father's house when Tatiana initially called Adrian's girlfriend to come over to her house? How did all y'all end up over at your dad's house?
And you had been drinking some shots of Casamigos at 1 afternoon, right?
Earlier that day.
Okay, but earlier that day, you had been drinking shots of Casamigos, correct?
Correct.
Overruled.
Earlier that day, you had been drinking shots of Casamigos, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And to be clear, where was your vehicle when you came back to your house?
Parked in my driveway.
Okay. And so your father drove you to your residence from his house, right?
Correct.
But it's a close distance, right?
Yeah, I could have walked.
Okay. All right. So I want to talk about some other things that you said in your direct testimony. You were very clear in your testimony 5-10 minutes ago when your attorney asked you, did you see a firearm, right? You said, yes, I saw a firearm. That was your testimony just, 10 minutes ago, right? Correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, I want to take you again to your interview with the detective in this case. This time I'm going to direct you to page 35 of the transcript of the interview. Now, on page 35, do you have the transcript or do you see it?
I have a copy of it, but I don't know exactly.
Sure. I'm on 35 at line 25 and 36 at line 3.
He's trying to look calm as possible. He claimed he came outside and just calmly say, please, can you
So,
leave,
Mr.
please?
Dority, I'm going to read from this transcript, starting at line 25 on page 35. Detective Gilberti, this is his question to you. Okay, did you ever see a gun? Mr. Dority, I cannot say I necessarily saw a gun, but if you're giving me this gesture, I've taken concealed weapons classes. I've taken defense classes before. If somebody approaches me like this,
You're going to feel correct.
So you cannot definitively say and honestly say to this jury,
Objection, Your Honor. Objection, Your Honor. Argumentative.
Sustained.
Hey, you ain't got to get
you
dramatic
cannot
about
say
it.
definitively that you saw a gun, can you?
Objection, Your Honor. Same objection. Argumentative.
Sustained.
Judge, can we approach?
God, sidebar. Oh man, this stuff be interesting, be intriguing. You didn't tell him that guy. You went and got your gun and came right back out there and started firing at this guy. But I'm still not understanding how all y'all in over at your dad's house. That don't make a shred of sense. There's a lot of stuff y'all skipping over in this. What the hell was y'all arguing about? Is this guy nailing your girl or what? Yeah, NBA players, they nail their girlfriends, friends, and all of that. Yeah.
So today in your testimony, you mentioned that you saw a shiny object when you first approached the victim's vehicle, right?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Right.
Okay. But you never said anything at all in your initial interview with law enforcement about seeing this shiny object.
Oh. Overruled.
You never said anything at all about the shiny object then, right?
When
You had your interview with law enforcement, that interview.
I had been waiting and sitting in the back of a police car for 7-8 hours. I was in the interview room for 6-7 hours. I hadn't slept. I was beyond tired.
And now you're tired.
My recollection of what happened could have been
Now you
maybe,
remember.
you know.
Maybe.
Okay, so you didn't say it then, but you're saying it now, right?
I said it.
Okay. Now, you mentioned in your direct testimony that you were concerned for your son and for your father who were present at the time of the shooting, right? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I apologize.
But even by your own telling, there was never any threat by the victim made to your son, right?
Objection argumentative, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Hold on, man.
There was never any threat made by the victim to your son, right?
Correct.
You can ask that question because I've been saying that since this live stream been going on. You left your son out there what's supposed to be in a threatening situation. Come on, man. That don't make a shred of sense. I'm going to leave my son. This guy just told me he going to smoke me. And I'm going to leave my son out there? There's no way it's going to happen. There's no way in the world. And then again, why is your son out there at 1 something in the morning? That don't make no sense. All y'all own something.
I said correct.
And there was never any threat made by the victim to your father, right?
Correct. It doesn't have to be made to them, though.
Okay. Now, you would also agree
all
that where the victim was parked was not your property, right?
The neighborhood is considered my property. I don't own the neighborhood, but it's my dwelling. That's where I live.
Yeah, that's what when somebody pull in front of your house, you feel like they're in front of your house or next door. That's what this thing is all about. This guy went over to what he perceived as his kingdom. So he feels like you punking me out. You in front of my house. You over here with this argument. And you big on top of that. So I know I'm not going to whoop you fighting. You know, so this what this is all about. He felt like this guy was invading his kingdom and he went and got his gun. And a lot of people will do that. You know, I can't say I won't do that. Like, if you pull in front of my house and you trying to spark out some argument, I'm already feeling like you punking me out, you know, literally.
Okay. But to be clear, Mr. Payne never set foot in your house, right?
No.
He never.
But see, this lawyer right here going to keep it legal. Legally, you cannot tell this adversary or this person you argue with, get off your block. If they out there in the streets, you really can't say nothing to them because technically they not on your property. So this lawyer right here going to keep it legal, but this guy don't look at it like that. If you just come on my block, that's my property.
Step foot on that piece of grass in front of your house.
He may have.
Okay. Do you remember a previous testimony in a hearing? In a courtroom like this?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to direct and show opposing counsel transcript of a previous hearing.
I don't know what he did when I went in the house.
Okay, I'll direct a question to you in a moment. I'm showing opposing counsel the transcript, page 156.
Yeah, by law, if somebody pull on your block, you can't claim that block. But most people don't feel like, hey, you're my domain.
My question was, at the time, was that area that he parked, is that your property?
No, sir.
Okay, so you're saying it was not your property. You agree?
It wasn't my... I don't own the land. I don't own it. I was a tenant there.
I understand that. But you leased the property, presumably?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And with that lease, it doesn't entitle you to the entire neighborhood, correct?
It's a private neighborhood.
It's a private... Is there a gate to get in?
There was until it was destroyed.
Okay, so at the time of this, you could just drive into the neighborhood, correct?
Yes, you could.
Okay.
It's still a private residence.
And that area that the victim was parked, that's not included in your lease, correct?
Correct.
Now, when you went inside your home to arm yourself with a firearm, in this case, the victim didn't follow you, right?
No.
He stayed by his car.
Correct.
And so you went in. You would have had time at that point to call 911 if you deemed it necessary?
Correct.
But you didn't do that, did you? Did you?
I didn't think it was necessary at that moment.
Okay. What you deemed was necessary was to get your firearm, you go outside, and kill it, right?
No.
So that's what you did.
Wait a minute.
That's eventually what
You
happened.
You said you felt threatened. You felt like your dad was being threatened. You felt like your son was being threatened, but you go in there and you say you don't feel like it's the right time to call the police. The right thing to do is to grab his gun. You're not making sense.
So you went in the house, right?
Correct.
You armed yourself with a firearm.
Correct.
You went back outside the house.
Correct.
You aimed. Before you
didn't say nothing.
Yes.
Correct.
And then you shot Adrean Payne.
After I asked him to leave several times.
And again, we already went through your original transcript, but you previously said was you didn't communicate with him, you shot him.
You have
right?
audio recording of it.
Okay. I'm asking the question.
You
said
you started yelling stuff and making demands and commands. You didn't sound like you
what
was
we've
panicking.
already established in
You sound like you was
your
in control.
transcript. You didn't communicate with him. You shot him, correct?
So.
I mean, we can look at it again. Do you need to look at it?
No, I looked at it already. You already showed me.
Okay, so you would agree. You said you did not communicate with him. You shot him, right?
Correct.
All right. I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
Hey, there you go.
Yes, briefly, Your Honor.
Okay, we're gonna move on from the redirect with this guy right here. This guy sounds like a complete idiot. And I want to get to those closing arguments with this dude. This is one of those cases that flew up under the radar, but it caused some traction once it hit law and crime and court TV and all that type stuff. And it was big news down there in Orlando. We're going to cover a lot of stories in Orlando. But I question that too, because a lot of these stories be coming out of Florida, Texas, Tennessee, Memphis. Matter of fact, I just seen something about a rapper in Memphis getting killed. And they say there's a war going on in Memphis. I mean, it's just like anywhere else, man. You know, they got rivals and gangs and all that type stuff. And things can get out of control. I'm gonna try to find that story right quick. Become this rapper in Memphis. Let me go back to my home screen and see which rapper. I only seen it briefly, so I seen a couple of podcasters talking about it. Let me see if I can come across it. I may have to do an episode on that. Give me 1 second, fam. Let me get this rapper's name. Okay, Fast Cash, See Money. Fast Cash, See Money was shot and killed on camera. On camera. You know, the podcast is going to pick that one up. I've seen a couple of them talking about it. And let me see if I can pull something else up. Fast Cash. Okay, yeah, I see a few podcasts that picked up on this. You know, I don't be keeping up on who's the latest rapper or whatever. And unfortunately, I find out about some of these rappers through these terrible news. It's not like I hear their songs or whatever and find out about the artists like that, you know. When I was young, I used to listen to a lot of gangster rap and all that type of stuff. Today, as an older guy, I'm not looking for that type of hip hop. But yeah, unfortunately, I find out about these rappers. When stuff like this happen. I'm gonna share. It's actually a news clip on this too. So let me share that screen about this rapper, Fast Cash. They got shot and killed in Memphis. Then we'll get back to this opposing argument with this idiot right here. This dude right here. Yeah, so I want to share my screen talking about the rapper Fast Cash. They got killed in Memphis. Breaking news too. From a credible news source from Fox 13 Memphis. Let's check it out. A lot of gunfire.
Breaking news now.
Man, that's gunfire right there. I thought that was some rain dropping on fireworks or something. Let's wind that back. Man, they were lighting it up. Play that again. Stop this music in the background. You stop this music. Man, I didn't know all that was going on. Man, that's a lot of gunfire.
Breaking news now. Family.
That sounds like multiple guns too. Let me play that one more time. That sounds like different caliber type guns, but it sounds like it's multiple guns going on.
Breaking news now. Family confirming to Fox 13 News that a Memphis rapper, C Money, was killed in that shooting that you just saw there. This happened yesterday in a residential area in Fraser. Fox 13's Daniel Wilkerson joining us live from that neighborhood. Daniel.
Oh, they shooting up a house or something?
Break it down for us. What happened here?
Well, we understand that rapper killed Fast Cash, C Money. This happened, Ernie, around 12:20, right after midnight, Sunday. So really, really early in the morning, late Friday into Saturday. Folks, I don't know that I have ever heard and seen this gunfire at one location.
Yeah. That was shocking right there. That is shocking. Like literally, y'all heard that? Man, got some deep stuff in there. Look at that. Man, that's some high powered shit right there. And it sounds like some fully automatic. That don't sound like no semi-automatic stuff. I think on some of them guns, they could switch it to like fully automatic or something like that. But that's a lot of gunfire, man. Let me take that back a little bit. That is shocking right there. And these guys ain't coming to play, man. When they come to do something, they come to do some damage. They don't care if it's mass crowds. They don't care if it's kids out there or nothing like that. When they come to get you, they trying to come get you. Hey, my condolences to this guy and his family. Let's check that out again, man. That is terrifying right there. That's some serious gunfire. They shooting at a house? It look like they shooting at a house or something.
Yeah, for those of you from
Man, they even bagging up. Go back some. Is somebody shooting back at them or what?
Yeah, for those of you familiar with the area, this is not too far from Georgian Hills Park. It's not far from where I stand this morning. Keep in mind,
like
this is a residential area. You can
look like 2 cars. Go back some. I'm only doing this because they showing this on the news or whatever. I'm not really into investigative reporting, but it look like it's 2 cars. I don't know. See that 1 car bagging away right there.
Hills Park, Innovation Church is not far from where
It's another scene. Oh, that's just the same car. They got it sort of blended together. I was saying how that other car popped on the screen. Let me play that.
This morning, keep in mind, this is a residential area. You can see in video, it's hard to determine which direction these shots were coming from. There were so many, but it appears you see someone standing outside that vehicle. Again, it's hard to tell whether that is the shooter or the victim. That car, it starts to bag up. It appears the passenger door open while the car is back. It looks like the person who had been standing outside that vehicle is somehow able to hold on to it as it's backing back. As we understand it right now, the body was discovered at Meritavia and Georgian Drive. Meritavia and Georgian Drive. Now, we have been speaking with different
the car with these people. Because they saying the body was found somewhere else. So it looked like all this is happening while you're in the car. It looked like he held on or something. I guess that's what they saying.
As we understand it right now, the body was discovered at Meritavia and Georgian Drive. Meritavia and Georgian Drive. Now, we have been speaking with different people in the area. This is what a man told me. Keep in mind, the man you're about to hear from, folks, he is right at 75 years old.
If I had been walking past this way, I would have been shook. I would have got shot.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what is frightening to me right there. So that's where it came through at right there.
Yes, it does something. Folks, that video you're looking at right there, that is right outside of that door or the window where that man was standing not too far from. It's just unbelievable. But back out here live, I want to show you this. These are tire marks. And I don't know, we don't have it confirmed whether these tire marks were from this incident, but I can tell you all over this cove, not far from where we know this happened, there are tire marks everywhere. What we know, again, confirmed from a family member, Fast Cash C Money. We understand that that rapper was part of the Fast Cash Boys. We're going to have more developments for you. We're working to get even more information confirmed.
Yeah. Had to be scared for the folks in that neighborhood hearing all that gunfire. Daniel Wilkerson live there in Fraser.
Man, that is deep. It's deep right there. Yeah, so man, that was breaking news right there, and that was from a few hours ago. Man, that's a lot of gunfire. And I think they're insinuating that this guy was in the car with all this gunfire. They found his body somewhere else. Interesting, man. I may have to do an episode on that. I'm gonna have to look further into it. And that was from an official news report, credible source. So, yeah, you gotta take this stuff and believe it. That's why I look up credible news sources. But I want to get back to this idiot over here. I wanted to look into that story. Get back to this idiot. I want to hear the closing arguments with this dude right here, Lawrence Dority. Let me get that pulled up. Man, that is so frightening, man. But you know, that stuff be happening everywhere, you know. Not just in Memphis. They're like North Memphis, Fraser area. You know, that stuff can happen anywhere, man. They got these people got some powerful weapons. That was a lot of gunfire, man. You can't tell me that guy didn't get hit a lot of times. That stuff is very frightening. But again, it be happening everywhere, man. I just said a few minutes ago, you hear a lot of these stories, they come out of Florida, Tennessee, Texas, but you don't hear that stuff happening in like Montana or Utah or Nebraska. Like, I rarely come across stories like that. There's stuff coming out of North Carolina and South Carolina and Atlanta, Houston and stuff like that. But that story happened in Memphis. I just mentioned that earlier in this live stream. I'm trying to get to this guy's closing arguments. Like I said, he got found guilty of second-degree murder. Okay, defense argues self-defense. Okay, that's the closing arguments for the defense. I don't want to hear them. I can't say he got a bad lawyer. He doing what he got to do. Yeah, a lot of stuff stacked up against him. Okay. Here we go right here. I think this is it. I want to share my screen. Hey, you went here, click that like button. I just shared a terrible, man, a surprising story with this rapper, Fast Cash. Man, that stuff is frightening. Man, and he seemed to be in the car with the people. That's what it seemed like. You know, and then they bagged out of there. These people be having some high-powered stuff. And this live stream really is all about this guy, Adrean Payne, ex-NBA player. And let me see if this commercial stop. Skip this commercial. I want to get to this closing argument from the prosecution. I'm going to play a little bit of it. And again, let's get them likes up. Okay, let me sound going on here.
Does the state wish to give their closing at this time?
Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor.
You may.
May I please report? Carol Walker pled with the defendant not to take his gun out. She pled with him, don't take your gun out. Over again, don't take your gun out, Lawrence. We were asked to come here. She pleaded with him not to shoot Adrean Payne that night. He didn't listen. Instead, he proceeded to take his gun out, take deadly aim, and shoot and kill Adrean Payne. It wasn't justified. It wasn't in response to a reasonable threat. It was just because he was intoxicated and he was mad. Not in the heat of passion that would be justified by law, but just because that's how he felt like, what he felt like doing that night. Not justified. Now, this was a relatively short trial. You heard from 6 state witnesses, as well as the defendant, including Tara Walker. And obviously you heard from the witnesses yesterday, so you probably have fresh memories of what was said, but I want to go through and touch on what I think are important points for you to remember when you go back for your deliberations. First, you heard from Corporal Garrett Morris. He was one of the first responding officers on scene. Now he came to the scene and he found the victim suffering from a gunshot, and he was still in his vehicle. Now you heard from the testimony, he was a large individual. He was 6'8", and they had difficulty getting him out of the vehicle. They were able to ultimately get him out. He tried to render aid on the ground at CPR with another officer. Unfortunately, he was unsuccessful. Now you heard as part of protocol for when responding to a scene like this, a shooting, that he checked for weapons on the victim's person. And you can actually see on his body camera video that you saw that he did check both a pouch that the victim had on and as well as his pockets. No weapons. You also heard from CSI Hannah Miner, who testified yesterday morning as well. She was the lead CSI in the case, and she was in charge of documenting the entire scene, including the inside of the victim's vehicle. And you saw her documentation of that scene produced no firearm. There was no firearm in the vehicle. There was a kitchen knife in the passenger floorboard that you heard from Tara Walker was put there by her after a dinner that they had picked up. You also got to see from CSI Miner's photographs sort of a layout of the scene. You got to see that the victim's vehicle wasn't parked right in front of the defendant's house, but down the street a ways.
Yeah.
At least a couple of residents down.
Yeah.
You saw.
But he shouldn't have been there though, like literally. Rest in peace to this guy, but he shouldn't just be over at this guy's house 1-something in the morning, you know, because people would feel like, man, you in a kingdom. They don't care if you park down the street. If you're on a block, anywhere on a block, they feel like you invading them.
The vehicle wasn't on his property. It wasn't on anything adjoining his property. You got to see the distances between.
But by law, you cannot make that person leave if they're not directly on your property.
You got to see her photographs detailing her search.
Audiobooks are no longer
commercial.
They are essential. Hi, I'm Sarah from Science.
Of the defendant's residence where the firearm was found. And you saw the firearm itself, which is in evidence. You heard briefly from Marco Quintanar, who was a neighbor in this incident. He didn't see anything, but he heard gunshots, which caused him to look at his surveillance camera, and he was able to find video that captured audio of this shooting. And of course, you heard from Tara Walker, the victim in this case's girlfriend, the mother of his child. She told you that she responded to the area of the defendant's house after receiving a call from her best friend, Tatiana Mesa. That she then spoke with her boyfriend, Adrian, who said he was also en route there as backup to her. Now you heard that she got there sort of just after Adrian had arrived and saw the defendant sort of walking away after apparently having words with Adrian going back into the house. You heard she had a brief conversation with him. He was going to move his car so she could fit to park on the street there. And then you heard that's when things took a turn. The defendant came back outside the house. He didn't stay in the house. He didn't lock the door. He didn't call 911. None of that. Instead, he arms himself with a firearm, taking the time to do that. He comes back out, and when Tara Walker sees him, she notices that he seems to have a gun. And she says, and you can hear on the audio, "Don't take your gun out. Lawrence, don't take your gun out. We were called here." But then she told you he didn't listen. He does take the gun out. You can hear the escalation in her voice. While you can't see the incident, you can hear it.
Why is the Lawrence's girlfriend calling everybody over to this scene? It seemed like she's setting all this stuff up, like behind the scenes. Well, what is causing everybody to come over here? That don't make no sense. That's what's missing in this whole story. But again, when you're the prosecution, you don't have to like prove no motives and all that. All you gotta do is prove that he did it. You know, just saying something about a motive is like something added. You know, something just adds on to the story. But I'm gonna end this right here. This guy been found guilty of second-degree murder. It's been fun as usual, getting on here, performing. And you listen to the replay, make sure you click that like button, click that subscribe button. I got more episodes coming out. I just dropped an episode the other day. Y'all go to the channel and check that out. But on that note, fam, stay blessed out there.